What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Frontline Youth Podcast. This is one of your hosts, Isaiah Tijero. I'm here with my co-host,
Elijah.
And we are not alone in the studio. Obviously, y'all knew that because you saw the thumbnail and you saw the title and you saw so today we are here with you can go ahead and say your name for the
Notorious.
first time. The Notorious.
I am the unmentioned one.
If you don't say your name, sir,
I am the one that is unspoken.
The one in the
One
comments
that flaps in the comments.
I am the one who comments.
I am the one who puts all the comments.
For real.
He is the one who puts all the comments. For those of you who listen and have been listening for a little bit up until now, this is episode 15, right?
Yeah.
If you've been listening up till now, you have seen this man's comments if you've ever been on the YouTube.
I'm actually a day zero supporter.
That is true.
So I was down
A day
before,
-1 supporter.
You know?
before it was out. So
For the podcast.
Please do
Every
actually
release.
introduce yourself, though.
I am Pastor Deonta Scott.
That was so lame. Hold on. Hallelujah. All right.
For the pastor's perspective, in 15 episodes, it's only part 2 of pastor's perspective.
I know. It's been 11 episodes since our last one.
We tried to make it happen at 8, but it didn't happen.
It did not.
But we are here. Hello.
We are here. Enjoy it while you got it. All right. Who is Pastor Deonta?
That's a great question. Let me tell you something about him before he gets to talk about himself.
You know?
So Pastor Scott is he's been around in this church longer than we have been in this church.
Mm-hmm.
We have been in related churches, but not in this one longer than this guy. He has pastored in what city was it?
Hope
Fayetteville.
Mills. Fayetteville.
Fayetteville and Hope Mills
Charlotte
area.
for a month.
And Charlotte for a month.
Oh, yeah.
And
Shout
he
out
preaches
Charlotte.
most Sunday nights, all Sunday nights here at home. And he also directs the Frontline Youth Ministry,
Ooh.
which is why our podcast is called the Fly Podcast. F is front. L is what, Isaiah?
Line.
Oh, Pastor Scott, you can get $0 if you can guess what the Y stands for.
Young people.
Yep. Frontline Young
People.
People. The P is silent.
Flipe.
So no, but yeah, and so yeah, he and his wife are over the whole ministry, what we're doing, organizing events. They used to be bringing food all the time. We talked about this
In one of the episodes. I don't remember.
I think it was episode 2.
Really?
Yes, I do believe it was mentioned in episode 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if it was mentioned in episode 2, then we talked about it in episode 1 probably.
Yes.
And episode 8, because we talked about food in the second half.
and whichever one we talked about gratitude as well.
Right. Which is
Yeah.
basically, y'all messed that up. So now y'all got to bring your own food. Dang.
Hey, but
now we're
the new
setting it up for ministry.
But it has been better.
Yeah.
yes,
Which
That's
is good.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
People have been rising up, so praise God for that.
But yeah, him and his wife, his family, just been assisting in the church, holding up a lot of weight, definitely staying involved a lot, teaching us a lot. And so here he is, the man himself.
I'm holding up most of that weight.
Fun fact, the idea of doing a Frontline Youth podcast at all was his idea. Pastor Deonta Scott, this was his whole, do you need something?
We got a very funky situation going on
For the soundboard, yeah.
yes.
It's hard to reach,
It's his first
But
episode
yes.
that has 3 people consistently on it, and we're sharing one soundboard.
Yeah.
And Isaiah only has one hand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for reasons that,
Will remain anonymous.
Oh,
no.
not gonna. All right,
No,
all right.
I'm not going to trust it. Anyway, yes, podcast, the whole idea, Pastor Scott's idea, but, Pastor Scott's also very busy because he's the assistant pastor, the head of the Fly Ministry. He preaches every Sunday night. He's got to write sermons. People still come to him for counseling. I do it sometimes more recently. So, he couldn't do the podcast. So I was like, man, I got to do it.
Not to mention, he's a family man. He's working every day.
Every day.
That grind.
Getting that money.
Know what I'm saying? All right.
And I
Yep.
think you guys have done way better and above and beyond anything that I was thinking to do. So I think the Lord put this on your heart.
Thank goodness.
Y'all in the comments. I mean, not in the comments. If we're in your ears right now, We
Which
need
it
all
should
your
be.
support.
Yeah.
Which it should be because there's no video.
You know?
Yeah.
Not yet. Well, not yet. I don't know. A video. That feels.
See, I mentioned before we need to do a StreamYard.
Yeah.
I think StreamYard would be good.
It would be cool, but we got
But
to.
we'd have to have some etiquette and some moderators.
Yeah.
Some people with some
Definitely.
wrenches to kick some folks out.
yes. We already know there'll be people in there saying ratchet things.
Ridiculous.
What do you think about boop boop boop?
Wow, that was pretty
Yeah,
convincing.
they can't have no soundboard.
Nope.
No sound.
Nope.
Yeah.
All right.
So
What are we talking about? Well, you guys read the title, so you know. But we're going to pretend like you didn't.
right.
What are we going to talk about today?
Hold on, let me think about it. So today, for episode 15,
15. That's crazy.
we'll be discussing the ever so cloudy subject of relationships
Yes.
before the point of marriage.
Right.
Now, to get this clear, I'm not talking about having sex before you're married. No, sir. That's a given no. If you're doing that, stop. Yes.
Don't do it.
Yes. But no, we're talking about, you don't just wake up married one day. These relationships have to form, and they don't always start saying you walking up to a stranger, hey, I'm going to marry you one day, so just keep that in mind. That's not how that works.
Yeah, not always.
Well, full disclosure, my wife was had her eye on me since the crib because she's older than me.
So that's the end of this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. You will never be hearing from Pastor Scott again.
That is the end of his perspective.
No, but yeah. So yes, we are going to begin.
Yes. All right. So, premarital relationships, Pastor Scott.
Yes.
As the head of the Fly Ministry, I'm certain that you've had to deal with a lot of hormonal teenagers who are like, but I want to be with, and obviously, as I'm not a pastor and no one's coming to me with those concerns, so that's why we would like to hear what kinds of things do you see in particular amongst youth that either you notice that are concerning or that you try to guide them towards when you're navigating the waters of premarital relationships. The waters.
All right. So when a teen comes or a young person comes to talk about premarital relationships, it is simply because they're infatuated with somebody. It is never really, they're not looking to get married. They're not looking to have this long-term thing. Normally it's because they got butterflies in their stomach. Somebody held their hand, they gave them a starburst or whatever, and they, and they're like, oh, this is the love of my life forever.
Yeah.
So, as you guys know, we started Fly, and before, when it was combust, 12-year-olds were able to come.
Yeah.
And immediately, almost, I saw with the 12-year-olds that was almost all they wanted to do.
Really?
They wanted to come to Fly and be in a relationship with somebody. The weirdest thing.
At 12?
At 12.
Hallelujah.
No.
I mean, I said the wrong
12,
thing.
13,
I pushed the wrong button, yo.
14. They're in that stage where, I got to have a boyfriend. And I know it mostly comes from school because I guess that's what the thing is to do at school.
Yeah.
But they're not doing it to, I'm going to marry this person. They're doing it because, that's what everybody else is doing.
Right.
They can't go on a date.
No.
Because whenever you talk to them, they're like, so what makes this your boyfriend? Oh, he holds my hand. Or, he told me I look good. Or something.
We like to go to
small.
the movies.
Yeah.
They can't even go to the movies.
Yeah, so they're not able to date at all.
We like to video call.
They don't even do that. It's just because they're hiding it from their parents. So they don't do that. So it's simply just a title.
Yeah.
That's it. So, and then the gap between 12 and 13 was so wide as far as mentality. We just said, okay, 12-year-olds, y'all stay in children's church. Learn how to be older.
Yeah. Mature a little bit.
Mature, yeah.
Learn how to be older.
Mature. And then you can come sit in here.
Advice for all of us: learn how to be older. I got you.
How to think, how to think more mature. But yeah,
Right.
so that was the biggest problem. And then what was the other question?
It was what kind of advice do you give them?
The advice?
Yeah.
So normally the advice I give them is go talk to their parents because
Okay.
I'm never ever going to overstep anybody's parent.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, if a 12-year-old's parent tells them that it's okay for them to date, I'm going to go talk to the parent.
Yeah. And be like,
Because that's a whole nother set of issues.
Yeah.
Right? Because you really shouldn't be encouraging your 12-year-old to boyfriend, girlfriend. They should be worried about other things.
Right. So
Yeah.
you're saying
Schoolwork.
the main reasons people can't date at a certain, or that you don't suggest people date at a certain age, is not because they can't or because you want to control their lives, but because they're not mature enough and
Absolutely.
there's nothing they can do.
100%. They're not mature enough.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think. And we talked about this before. If they like Johnny and Susie is all about Johnny. Johnny. Well, Johnny's friends with Beth and Ray and Bill and Bob, and they're all friends together, right?
Friends, Elijah.
All right.
Yeah,
I was
they're all
like, where are we going
friends.
with
Yeah, they're all
this?
friends.
Because I was about to say Johnny's a player, but then he said Bob and Bill and
No, they're all friends, right?
Okay.
And so then, who was Johnny and Sue break up, or whatever her name was. They break up. Well, now this whole friendship circle is affected.
Yeah.
Because now, it's split down the middle. You know, Beth and Joe and Jim want to go hang out with Johnny, and then Sue's going to hang out with Charles and Ray and Buck. And
Right.
so then, now it's like this whole circle of friends has been affected. And now when it's time to come to church, you got these people sitting over here, these people sitting over here. There's underlying beef going on.
Right.
It just messes up. It can mess up the whole
It's
youth
true.
ministry.
It's true. I've known people in school, in church, everywhere who have been in relationships kind of early on. And then to this day, it's like it's strange between them and certain people because the relationships are certainly not in place anymore.
Absolutely.
And sometimes weird things will be said or like angry things will be said about stuff from years ago. Or even people see them strange because they just did a bunch of strange stuff.
Yeah.
So it is very problematic on a typical basis, whether it be in a church setting or anywhere else.
Yeah. This isn't in the notes, but from how I'm hearing you talk about this, it begs the question that maybe somebody who's listening is also wondering, but I'm noticing that you're saying a lot of she likes him, you know? And it's not always, I guess it's more often that than the other way around.
Is that true?
Yeah, is that the case? Or
To be honest, yes.
Yeah.
It is often more she likes him. From my experience. It's not always that way, but it is more she likes him. Like back in my day, right?
Oh, okay.
You got to
Hold
pull
on.
that one, right? So, but normally it was customary for the guy
Right.
to pursue the girl.
yeah,
Nowadays, the floodgates have opened,
you know.
and we're living bizarro land, and girls are way more aggressive.
Yeah.
If they like a boy, they seek boy, they destroy boy.
Dang, destroy
Right?
boy.
That's how it goes.
About to drop an album. That's the first track, Destroy Boy.
Be
I'm
quiet.
sorry. All right, go ahead.
And so that seems to be the pattern of what's going on, right? And it's not always that case, but you guys have been here. You guys know we've had boys come in on seek and destroy missions. And when I say destroy, I mean morally.
Right.
You know, their aim is not really to date. It's literally to, oh, you're a Christian? Cool. I'm gonna try to test that, and I want to pull you. They don't say it like this, but I want to pull you into degradation with me.
Right.
I don't want you to be pure. I don't want you to have your virginity. I want you to be like me.
Yeah.
And so I know when I was surprised when you said it's usually the girls coming after the boys in your experience with these kids in church. But now thinking about it, typically, like even our population in frontline youth is mostly women. It's mostly young ladies, right?
True.
And so
That is true.
any new guy that comes in, and I think this is because guys in the world are more focused on being cool than girls in the world. So it's like, oh, getting a notification.
Hallelujah.
Don't throw it. No, but so usually women will be more quick to come into the church and stick around. They're less worried about how it looks to other people.
Yeah.
So when a new guy comes in, it's like all eyes are on him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, who's this new man?
Oh
Like,
gosh.
he could look like a rock sandwich. What? But it's the fact that he's a yeah.
Yeah, it's true. I don't. You know, I'm not trying to judge nobody. I don't want to judge nobody.
Hold on now.
I be praying, man. I'm always praying for new young men to come into church.
Hallelujah.
But then new young men do come into church and they're getting swarmed.
Yeah.
Swarmed by all these girls, bro. I'm like, yo,
It's
let them get saved.
We just want to let them be welcome. But then it's bad because they'll come back and for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, because now they got the wrong idea about what these girls are like.
Right.
Or, the wrong idea is the wrong thing, but that's the idea that they were given.
That's true.
On purpose. I can't lie.
Big facts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So girls mature faster than boys.
Mm-hmm.
So
they
that's part of the aggression.
Yeah.
So let's just say some, not all, right? Some girls, most girls mature faster than boys.
Yeah.
So that's part of some of the aggression. But then the other part is girls have way more criteria to meet than boys. Boys just could be boys. Your friends are gonna they're gonna get on you about girls, but girls are gonna come, so they're not gonna really. But girls, if they don't have a boyfriend, if they not into boys, they get thrashed on social media. They get. I mean, girls are more vengeful, if you will, than boys.
Yeah.
And so girls will, you heard the whole thing, the B girls thing. Oh, they're B. Girls will give girls a hard time if they don't have a boyfriend.
I have not heard this.
Yeah, you never heard the B girls thing? Yeah.
Are you saying mean girls with conjunction?
Yes, mean. MEAN. And just so y'all know, I have allergies like crazy right now. So I'm not saying bean as in a vegetable. I'm saying mean as in, y'all know.
Yeah, right.
Mean Joe Green.
Word.
No, and yeah, I didn't really think about this before, but all young people probably at some point have experienced peer pressure, but I have noticed that girls are more vicious to each other when no one else is looking.
It's true.
And so
I mean, you think most of y'all know girls say, who do girls say they rather talk to?
boys,
Why?
because girls are dramatic and mean and
Exactly.
yeah.
They normally say girls are messy.
Mm-hmm.
That's terrible. Y'all need to stick together.
Facts.
Like
If
boys. Like, I'm hanging with the boys. You should be hanging with the girls.
Yeah.
Not hating on the girls.
Ooh, big bars. Where's that button? I'm sorry,
That's
I'm reaching over you.
Mm.
But yeah, our girl listeners, young ladies or not so young ladies, check on your friends, man. Don't be selfish. Come on.
You know?
Don't be jealous and whatnot.
Teamwork made the dream work.
Leave the boys alone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Except me. I'm just playing.
Okay,
Yeah.
Elijah.
I can't make a joke
all
like
right.
that.
No,
'cause
you
then people-
cannot.
no.
Because
Anyway.
then you will get swarmed.
Yes.
You know?
You'll be fish bait.
You know?
Anyway.
So in that, I guess the next point of talking is like, when does it become like, okay, this could be something for real, you know? Because a lot of times, the advice would be you go to your parents, right? Or, hopefully, the parents will tell them, don't focus on relationships at all. I know in Fly you said, like, until you're 18, don't even worry about it at all, which is good advice. I would say so, because, I mean, typically if it's pre-18 and you want to get in a relationship, what are you going to do about it?
Right.
You
The
know?
only things that you can do are sneaking and wrong and illegal.
Yeah.
So it's like,
And you can't do anything that really lasts. You can't make plans for your future because you
Right.
don't know. You
you
know.
can't build your lives together. You can only do the cheap romantic stuff.
Yeah, the stuff that's that everyone
Hey,
can
that cheap
get.
romantic stuff will get you far.
Hallelujah. All right.
Yeah, but it can't be just that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
So in all seriousness, but so I say 15 and under. I say don't even think about it. Don't even mess with it. And I say that because, like you said, at 15 you can't do anything. 16, most 16-year-olds, their parents start to give them a little bit more grace to say, hey, okay, whatever the case may be. So in a Christian household, what we've seen is that they don't typically, if they do let them have a boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever the case may be, there are rules, right? All right, so if you like Johnny or you like Susie, they can come over to the house and y'all gonna sit on the couch and talk, or maybe at church y'all, in the foyer talking, or but there's accountability with it, right? And so they tell them, keep your emotions out of it.
Yeah.
Just build a friendship, right? I think you guys talked about that on one episode, building a friendship. So you build a friendship and you work on that, because you want your wife to be your friend if all else fails, because that's what's going to keep a marriage together.
Yeah.
Your friendship, who we were, who we were before we got married. What do we do to make each other laugh? What do we do to spend time together? What do we enjoy? What memories did we make? What's our favorite hobby? Right. What's our thing, right? What restaurant do we like to go to?
And that is very important. I saw something earlier today. I was on an Instagram comment section. I see these all the time. It's under random posts, there'll be like something so normal, and then somebody will reply under with something crazy. There's thousands of people talking about craziness. And so in this one post, it was this dude, and he said he was talking to his girlfriend about his parents and about how they've been married for 40 years. And they thought it was cute that the girlfriend was like, wow, I wonder what it's like to love someone for 40 years. And then he was like, well, I ain't saying anything about loving someone for 40 years. And people are replying with like laughing emojis and stuff. But I'm like, dang, that's really sad.
No, that he has a point though.
Yeah.
Because again, sometimes in marriage you go through seasons, and you may go through a season where you don't love your spouse, but that don't give you the right to divorce your spouse.
Right.
Right. You may go through seasons where you don't like your spouse. You may go through seasons where everything is sunshine and roses. You're hitting the hot licks and it's great. And so that's where the friendship part comes in.
Right.
So because maybe you're not in love, but you're able to maintain that friendship. That don't mean it's a heart issue. That don't mean you leave because, we falling out of love with each other. Because see, love is a fickle thing. The Bible tells us love never fails anyway. So it's not this romantic type, we're looking at each other's eyes, gazing love all the time. It's it's really more so you fall out of like with each other.
Right.
It's not really necessarily love, because let's just get that clear. It's more of your heart changes.
Right.
I don't necessarily like you right now because you're not making me happy as far as feelings, emotions, mentality, whatever the case may be. So that's typically what happens. So a friendship can survive those seasons.
Right.
Whereas something that's rooted on nothing ain't gonna. If it's rooted on sand, and it's rooted on we kissed, and so I love kissing you, and everything's physical, right?
Because when their breath stinks, it's like, oh no,
yeah. Or when you wake up and the wig's off and the retainers taken out,
dang,
the Walmart fingernails are popped off, and you start to realize, you don't clean at all. You really leave all these clothes on the floor. What in the world? What, you were always buying store-bought food whenever I came over? You can't cook.
Oh gosh.
Hey,
no. Episode
guys
8,
and ladies, don't put yourself in that trap. Be honest about your cooking ability. It will take you far.
Don't trick nobody.
And upgrade your cooking ability. That's an asset, bro. If you trying to make yourself a potential candidate, man or woman, bro. If you got some housekeeping skills, if you got some home ec, those are good things.
Do they still teach home ec in school?
I don't even know what. I've never heard that phrase.
Home economics is what it's called.
Yeah.
And so in home economics, and when I was in school, they did it 3 different ways. So they had the part where you had the baby.
Right.
So you would take a baby home. like one of those fake baby, and they had one that would just, I think it was a colic baby, and so whoever got that baby, it was over for you. That baby just cried all the time. Now you can turn the baby off, but you got a 0 every time because there's a switch. So you could go in there in the back of the baby, because it's an electronic doll. Yeah. You turn the switch off, you automatically get a 0. Because that colic baby cried all the time.
Man, I'm throwing that baby in the closet.
No.
I mean, I'm treating that baby with love and care and putting it to sleep gently.
I think it was for like maybe a week that they did this. Yeah. And so for a week, that was your rotation. I didn't ever go through that part. I only did, I did typing or wood shop or something. Yeah, I didn't do that. But in some of the class they teach you how to cook. So my mom taught me how to cook, so I didn't take that class either. Yeah. But, so it was just different things. But
they don't teach that anymore.
They need to.
They do. But yeah, if you're thinking about that kind of stuff, it's good to have skills. It's not only, I have all this money, or I have a house. These things are important for guys in particular. We'll get into that. But
if you could build a house, that help.
Exactly. If you got some skills, if you got some abilities.
If you have trade.
Yeah.
Trade. And you don't got to be like that guy or that girl. You just need to focus on a few smaller steps of the skills and, just build it up however you can. There's a sign in the hallway at FTCC that says, it's in the math classes area, and where everybody's taking like 171 or 2 or whatever, and it's like how to be a math person. Step 1, be a person. Step 2, do math. Now, don't take that too far, because not everybody who cooks is a cook. But like you can put your mind to it and really try, pay attention to the ingredients, pay attention to how it tastes, and push yourself, and you can come out with something good.
Hey, listen, some people, you just need to be a professional package opener or water boiler, or you need to perfect the art of the microwave. Yeah. Just for some. Listen, everybody can't be, Miss Deonta made, we were at conference, just full disclosure. She made some spaghetti, and I'm telling you. Listen, Holy Ghost.
Delicious.
This lady he's talking about is our mother.
Yeah, no?
Yes, their mother.
Yeah, wonderful lady.
Our pastor's wife.
Yeah. Hallelujah.
But these are
from the South, first lady. If you're from the South.
Yeah, these are ideas for like when you're getting married and stuff like that. I wanted to do an episode on that with Pastor Tijero, our dad, because he was starting up the marriage classes and whatever, and we might still do it.
Yes.
But going back before you get married, right? You got to get to know somebody, and the question of the question that a lot of people, I guess, have to have answered, because in the world or outside of like a Christian setting, for those who don't know what in the world means, then it's like, dating is just, that's your girlfriend, that's your boyfriend, and that's it pretty much. But is there a point where every relationship that you're in should be considered a premarital relationship, as in the end result, the end goal is to get married? You know what I mean? Because I feel like some people either are not sure or they just don't think that far ahead, but I don't know.
So, good question. So, when you are, let's say for instance, you don't want to be a serial dater, so to speak, right? So my advice always is, when people start to date, dating and courting is two different things.
Okay.
Dating is more casual, courting is more serious.
Right.
So dating is actually what we even refer to as talking.
Okay.
It's that dating is that point where you're getting to know this person, right? So you're finding out, you're asking those probing questions. Hey, what is your favorite color? What do you like to do? What are your dreams? What are your do you have a man?
6'4".
The other question is, how old are you? That's a very good question.
Very, very
How
good
old
one.
are you? What you start to learn just general things about them. What's your name? You know,
What's your birthday?
Yeah, what's your birthday? Just simple stuff like that's dating. You know, you finding out the general stuff. Now, in dating, a good thing to do is to have some pointed questions that you want to get. Because I heard in an episode Isaiah say, I don't want to just date somebody just to date them. I don't want to waste time in dating, which is a very good thing. So you're more monogamy minded. You're more like, okay, I'm not dating you. I'm not gonna be investing my time in you, and you're gonna not benefit or not trying to go where I'm trying to go.
Yeah.
Right.
We gotta be on the same page.
You're right. We got to be on the same page, and it's okay to have that standard up front. It is okay. Be up front with people. Stop. Don't just string them along just because you're like, oh, that's. I just want to. I can't be by myself because if I'm by myself, my friends ain't gonna like me. Stop. Don't string people along like that.
Yeah,
so have your criteria. So dating is just that. It's getting to know. Then before you get to the courting stage, because courting is more serious, you want to have what I call and what I got from Pastor Gene LaValle, I do believe, is the high five moment.
Okay.
All right. So y'all supposed to hit the boom on that.
Oh, say it again.
The high five moment. There we go. Now,
Yes, sir.
what is the high five moment? I'm glad y'all asked.
There it is.
Yes, the catchphrase.
There it is.
I'm glad y'all asked.
So the high five moment is when you say, "Hey, we have talked, we have gotten to know each other, and guess what? No harm, no foul. You're not my cup of tea.
Okay.
Ooh.
Y'all can still high five. Y'all can be friends. At y'all ain't gonna have smoke for each other at conferences. When y'all see each other, when y'all go to rallies and stuff, it ain't gonna be y'all ain't gonna be throwing up set signs at each other. Y'all, y'all ain't gonna be sending. Yeah, I'm gonna send my mom or my dad to come get you, or I'm gonna send my pastor to come tell your pastor you're a horrible person because you said something I didn't like. I'm not gonna insult your Christianity. I'm not gonna say you were never saved and all this other stuff and spread rumors about you. Guess what? We talked. I thought I liked you. Maybe you liked the way they look. Mm-hmm. And you thought they was gonna be, but there was no sustenance to them. Yeah, maybe
for you.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe you go to conference. You've heard the stories. Oh, they don't really act like that. They're only doing that this week at conference. Those guys that go in the prayer room and start singing to the heavens. And acting super spiritual. Yeah, and they don't have no sustenance to them. And then when the girl starts to date them, she finds out that they don't even know what Genesis 1 is in the Bible. Mm-hmm. Those type of guys, they'll tell on themselves. Hey, high five. Get Genesis 1 is the first page, just so you know. All right, holla at me when you get the numbers.
I would like to say, not from experience, but from observation. If you looking to maybe be in a relationship with somebody, if you're looking to start courting somebody, make sure it's somebody that you can observe, not only when they want to be seen by you, like somebody that you could catch them off guard from time to time. If you see them for 1 week,
a stalker.
Hey, if you see them for 1 week, they can be on their best behavior for 1 week. But if you know what they're really like, you're around people who are around them, you really get to know what's going on. Because sometimes these things work out. People can meet at a conference, or people could meet online or something, and I'm not hating on that, but
people be going to conference to meet people, which is crazy.
100%, and there's nothing wrong with that. That can't be your sole purpose. Right. There you go. Let's just clarify. You cannot buy 6 outfits and go to conference and not expect God. You ain't worried about God meeting with you. You're like, I know He's gonna be there, so I'm gonna wear this to get His attention.
Yeah, if you
or her, I can't. You can't. Same thing. Yeah, guy for girl can't do it.
Yeah, truth. But yeah, let it be somebody that you can see, that you can be sure of what they're saying, because a lot of times somebody will say what they want you to hear or what they want your pastor to hear because they're trying to get to that bag. Facts.
100%.
Yeah. With that, so that brings up 2 things. We're going to talk about both of them, but I guess I'll defer to y'all which one you want to go into first. So the first thing is what you just mentioned, is like when you're in a relationship, you're in a church or whatever, obviously you're going to want to bring these things up to your pastor, right? Mm-hmm. But to what extent do you have to have your pastor be involved? Because I've heard some some good things and I've heard some horror stories, if I'm honest. And the second thing is, Elijah brings up a really good point, is that you need to get to know somebody, you know, someone who you can't, it's not always just putting their best foot forward. You know them, who they really are. And the question that poses is like, how long should you be either like talking to someone, getting to know them before it's like, okay, you guys have been, either you guys are, I don't know, have been dating too long, if you guys call yourselves dating or whatever, or you are in a position where it's like, bro, you need to get a move on. You know what I mean? Like, how much time is too much time? So those are the two. Which one you want to go into first?
So I'll go into the first part first. When do you bring it to your pastor? So everybody you like, you're not going to bring to your pastor. It's just like with your parents. Yeah. Everybody you like, you're not going to bring them home to your parents, because then what begins to happen is every stray dog or stray cat, you're gonna get into that mentality of bringing them home, right? You don't need to do that.
Right.
So so we got past the dating part to the high five part, okay? So when you get ready to court, this is somebody that I've talked to them, we've had conversations, they haven't gone to the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Now I want to go further. I'm thinking about actually investing myself into this person.
Right.
Then you go to your pastor. You go to if you have a dad, you go to your dad. If you have a mom, you go to your mom. If you have both, you go to both. Yeah. And then you say, hey, what do you guys think? Because before your pastor, right, you need to have your, because we're talking about, I'm thinking of older teenagers, right? 18, 19, 17 even. You know, you need to go to your parents first.
Yes.
Right? Because your parents, again, they're going to, maybe it's somebody that they've seen that you haven't seen everything from. Right? Because maybe they saw little Billy grow up, and they saw little Billy slapping his mom all over the place.
Little Bill!
You know, and being rude. I always tell my daughters this: watch how he treats his mom. How he treats his mom is how he's going to treat you. So watch how he treats his mom.
Right. Same
thing for the girls. Watch how they treat their dads. Watch how they treat their moms too. Because guess what? When they get mad, they're going to talk to you the same way. They're going to treat you the same way.
Right.
How you treat your parents is a good reflection of how they're going to treat you.
Yeah.
Trust me, if they would disrespect their parents, they're going to disrespect you when they get upset.
That's a fact.
That's just how it is. So you got to look at that. And so your parents may know that. So they may tell you off the rip before you even get emotionally invested. They say, "Hey, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I know XYZ. Don't." And they may not share that with you, but they just might say, "I don't know." And sometimes we always think, parents, they're telling me no because they parents. No, don't. Then the stinking starts. Don't do that.
Nah.
Just listen to what they're saying and take their advice, because they actually know what they're talking about, right?
For the most part, yeah.
Hey, but that being
for
said,
the most part, parents are always right. I'm joking.
That being said, about the you know, you say you don't bring every single person to your pastor,
right?
You say you don't bring every stray dog.
Every person you're talking to,
right?
Yeah, every person. Because again, so let's define talking to. Talking to is just a getting to know, right? It's nothing serious. There's no skin in this game.
Yeah.
It's hey, we saw each other. I'm thinking more of, say for instance, you saw somebody in the church, right? You want to talk to them. You just, we just a casual conversation. We may sit after service. It's nothing serious.
Right.
There's nothing going to happen from this, as far as you know. You're just having a conversation, just getting to know. You're building a friendship.
So, but you're saying don't, if it's not somebody you're gonna bring home, don't do nothing serious.
No, heck no.
Okay.
No,
most definitely.
Don't buy no collars for stray dogs.
Do not make permanent choices for temporary situations.
Okay. Yeah, because that's
Don't. So let's get into it. Don't have babies with people you're not married to.
Yeah,
please. It's not just about the two of you. That baby has a life.
Absolutely.
For sure.
I'll be looking at some of these young music artists. I was talking to Isaiah just a few days ago. I'm like, dang, this dude is like 20 years old.
He just turned 19.
He got 2 daughters, 2 of them.
2.
Wow.
He is their father for life.
Yeah. I mean, and again, that doesn't necessarily mean you're doomed. You're going to do a bad job.
Right.
But it's just better to not put yourself in that position at all.
if you have the chance right now, if you got the chance, try to give your future children the most stability possible.
Yeah.
And that's not just a financial thing, but the status of who their parents are.
Yeah,
If it's possible, they need 2 of them.
for sure.
Yeah, when you begin to have children, it's no longer about you at all. So at 19, 20, you're still wanting to buy Jordans.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to go buy Jordashes.
Them Chinese.
Because the baby is gonna need shoes.
Right.
Formula is expensive. When we were buying formula from Maddie, I think Maddie was our last one. But I think a big thing of formula was like $50.
No, sir. That baby gonna drink milk powder.
So that is milk powder. That's formula. That's formula powder. That's, like we ended up going to Sam's and all that because you're trying to make it last from paycheck to paycheck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you got, and so imagine a 19-year-old making $12 an hour.
Yeesh.
You're gonna be working to buy that formula.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it. You're gonna have, by the time you get done in the week, you're gonna have enough money to buy that formula, and then what you're gonna eat.
You better eat the extra burger you flip.
Need some
You
formula.
can't feed your baby hopes and dreams.
Disney movies.
You know?
Right. You can't feed your baby that person that's not there, right?
Yeah. That's real.
Facts.
Yeah, so don't have babies with people you're not married to.
Exactly. And if you want to get married to someone, make sure that question comes up. Babies.
Yes.
Do you want them?
Yes, absolutely.
And if you want them and they don't, high five.
Yeah.
It's time to go.
Yes.
That is something.
Yep.
No, that's not a deal, because some people can change their mind.
Okay, yeah, but you know.
But if they say straight up, if that's a deal breaker for you, high five. Keep on going. That's in the dating phase.
Mm-hmm.
So what if they change their mind in courting? They told you yeah in dating, and then when you begin to court, they're like no. Now courting is you're investing in them. Now your pastor knows, people in the church may know y'all are a thing. So now what do, right? So are you still, the high five moment can still take place in the courting phase.
Right.
That's okay. I think sometimes people get so, they're like, oh, I have to stick with this person because I started here. No. Marriage is forever.
Yes.
You better be ready to do it forever.
Yeah,
Don't make
so don't make, again,
Don't rush.
don't make permanent decisions for temporary situations.
Yeah. For sure. Okay. Did we really go into how, like, we talked about when you should go to your pastor.
Right.
But do you feel as though sometimes, and this is just me spitballing here now, but I've had some, what? Hold on. Rewind. We're gonna start over. I've heard and observed some situations in which a pastor, while they mean well for their flock or whatever, they are just entirely too involved. If you're asking me, too involved, where it's like, I understand, but like, bro, this ain't your relationship, dog. I can't now.
He ain't your dog.
There is a level to this. You can't be like, stay on my business, pastor. I do what I want. That's stupid. Don't do that. But like, to what level is it like, okay, now I'm thinking I'm in a relationship with me, my girl, and my pastor, and it's like, no.
Okay, so I need a little bit more context. So how the pastor that you saw, what is over involved?
Over involved can mean where a pastor is like, for example, maybe they're telling you what you should say, you know, in terms of like how, I don't know, how to look good.
Walk up to her at 5 p.m. and say this.
Right, or something like that. Or a pastor is like acting as, like, a parent is cool, I guess, but a pastor is weird, where like maybe you getting calls and stuff. What were you doing? I didn't see you or so-and-so. Y'all both missed church the same day? What's going on? And, you know, sometimes that's just a pastor meaning well. And other times it's like a pastor in your business a little too much. And it's like, obviously, I would, me personally, I would appreciate it. I would appreciate having a pastor looking out for me or whatever. But also, like, I'm real close to my pastors because one of them is you and I'm close to you. And one of them is my dad. So I have no choice. And,
bookend.
So obviously I'd feel real comfortable with their input because I trust them. But in a lot of situations, this thing that I'm talking about is when you like somebody, you want to court someone, and they go to a different church, so their pastor is not your pastor. Okay. So then it's like, it becomes a whole thing, and usually it's with you talking to a girl, where the girl's pastor is like all up in it. I don't know,
fantasy football.
Yeah, where it's okay to an extent.
So you saying he's basically like texting you like, hey, how how did it go last night?
Yes.
Hey, Shelly told me y'all talked about green beans and rice last night.
I know.
So do you really like green beans? Because when I talked to you, you didn't say anything. So
yes.
like that. Like,
yes.
Okay. Situation, and sometimes, can a pastor be too involved? The answer is yes.
Okay.
Now the thing is the situation.
Right.
Right. Is he too involved because the person that he's pastoring has shown him that they cannot be trusted?
Right.
So he's trying to be over involved so he doesn't under deliver.
Mm-hmm.
He don't want you to get a bad, I hate to say it like this, but a bad product.
Yeah.
Because he may not tell you, hey, she struggles with rejection, she struggles with this and with that. So I just want to make sure that you're not giving her false hope.
Yeah.
I want to make sure, listen, because he might be telling you, hey, don't tell her you love her. Mm-hmm. When you get off the phone with her, just say bye. Yeah. And he may not tell you why. Right? He may not tell you why. He may just say, hey, I'm not going to don't do that.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah. So because he knows,
don't do it.
If it doesn't work out, it'll crush her.
Yeah.
Or him. Right? Because guys deal with rejection too.
Mm-hmm.
If that dude may go into a shell and may never come back to church.
Yeah.
So the long story short to that is, it depends. But yes, a pastor can be too involved. But the thing is, I don't think, just knowing my dad, your dad and myself,
mm-hmm.
we would it depending on the person again, we would say, okay, we check in with you guys. And if you guys did miss church at the same time, I would definitely be asking questions.
Okay.
But as far as like just being, let me see your text messages. Let me see your phone log.
Yeah.
Let me see if y'all, and I'm writing it down. I'm not gonna do all that because I got my own life to live.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when a pastor is dealing not with a courting relationship, but just with a certain individual, and that's a part of the church. Like if there's something that is of consequence or something that seems like it could cause a problem in the future or something that is causing a problem, then hey, let's sit down and have a meeting. But otherwise, it's not like, excuse me, what did you have for dinner before you came to church? Was there crack in that food or something?
Gosh.
Like with no prompt to that. It's just over analysis for no reason. But you analyze where it matters, and that goes for just individuals and with relationships as well.
Yeah.
And well, it can't be understated that I'm not, if I gotta worry about you to that extent, I'm not gonna give you permission to date.
Right.
Yeah, I feel that
to start
too.
with.
Yeah.
So I'm not, if I have to be like, all right, as your pastor, not as your parent, as your pastor, because this is something your parents should be doing too.
Right.
If as your pastor, if I gotta ask you to see your phone and see this and to see that, hey, show me your call log. What are you doing on social media? All right, I know this is just profile number 1. Let me see profile number 5. If I gotta do all that,
I was expecting 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. If I gotta hire a private investigation team just to keep up with you, I'm not gonna give you permission to date anyway. Because that means there's something wrong in your character.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't. Why would I give you permission to put all of that on somebody else?
Yeah.
Right.
And
And to clarify, for some of y'all, for somebody who's been on YouTube before, that doesn't make the church a cult because he's trying to put you in a headlock about your relationships. But if you do choose not to adhere to anything that's being said, then that just means you can't like pretend to have good standing with with the church and what's going on. Don't try to act like super righteous and you want to minister to people. They won't let you do that, not because they have a personal vendetta against you, but because there's wrong things going on in your heart. And so you can receive respect as a person and not be treated badly, but just we don't do it up in this church.
Right. In addition to that, it's like, first of all, two things, right? If a pastor can notice that, and pastors have this kind of discernment, you know, they're not stupid, you know, they have wisdom from the Lord, you feel me? So then if it's like they can see that, okay, this relationship is detrimental to not only just y'all, like this relationship ain't gonna work, but also I'm noticing that y'all are not living right. You're not saved anymore, and it's because of this relationship. And if you guys are churchgoers, if you care about, you know, living right, if you care about being saved, then I don't know, I feel like it shouldn't be a problem to follow up on you to make sure. And two, if you go to pastor for some counsel, don't get mad when you get it.
Expect the counsel.
Yeah, you know?
Don't say, all right, pastor, so I need you to agree about, just me and my... Oh, what'd you say? Oh, I just need you to agree about, me and my girl, we just...
That's not how it's going to work.
The reality of it, to believe it or not, in counseling, a lot of times, we don't have all the answers. That's number one.
That's true.
So
yeah.
we pray and ask God. That's number one. Number two, most of the time when people do, well, not most of the time, I shouldn't say that, but when people do come to us as couples to counsel,
right,
somebody just wants to be right.
Right.
So they want whose side are you on, right? And so that's why, thank God, we base everything on the Bible. And I'm gonna go back up just a little bit to the cult thing, right? Yeah. As far as relationship goes, because that's what most of the time people who say that, oftentimes it's because they rebel in some way. So
it's true.
It's not really about, if the church was a cult, everybody would do what we say. And they don't. They
and
clearly
that don't happen.
And clearly that didn't happen because they are outside the church.
Right. And they put up YouTube videos about how the church is a cult. They did not disappear.
Right. So it's the church clearly is not a cult. Because you try to explain this to people, but you can't explain it to people that don't have rationale, or they don't have morals. Because the thing is this: when you go to your job, you cannot date a coworker.
Yeah.
That's so if you're the boss.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. If you're the boss, you can't date a coworker. Is the job a cult?
No. Because
they have rules.
Right. And you're voluntarily there.
You're voluntarily there. That's
nobody's
same
forcing
thing
you
with
to,
the church. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just all about perspective with that. So that's how that goes. I just wanted to clarify that because I do hear that a lot. You can't, pastor trying to run my life. No, not really. I got other things that are more important.
Yeah. So regarding considering people for marriage, right?
Right.
For future relationships. We were about to play for song service today, and I heard some people talking about, I don't know how this conversation started. They're just
tell them we had fly today. That way they'll understand.
Oh yeah. So
we're recording this episode right after Frontline Youth.
Right, where it's kind of like a Bible study, and it's mixed with
what fly
service
is
at the same time.
We've never explained.
Yeah.
We have like once or twice before, but
Ep 1.
They could be a first time listener. If you want to know first time stuff,
go
please
back to episode 1.
Yeah.
Well, maybe don't. Episode sucks.
I loved episode 1. It's my favorite episode.
It's the worst.
But anyway,
except for when Katie was on, I did love Katie, my daughter.
Episode 12. That's a good episode.
I heard some young ladies talking about how there's nobody in the church for them, and I think it started with somebody had like shared a post or something. They were talking about that, but they were like, yeah, all the single guys in the church are either they have no job, they're immature, or
they're me,
or they're 40 years old. There's nothing else. And then they start walking around like, he don't have a job. They looked at me. You don't have a job. I'm not gonna lie. I felt personally attacked, but I ain't saying nothing. I was like, oh, we gonna talk about this in the podcast.
You're so wrong.
No, but I mean that's a shot to me, not to them. I need to get a job, but I'm still in school, y'all. So calm down.
Work on your grades.
That's real.
I know who your mother is. Work on your grades.
Yeah.
But yeah, so speaking of considering Like what makes somebody qualify for marriage? What are you looking for?
Right. Let me hold on now.
I'm holding on.
This is something that I think about a little bit. Episode 3, the episode 3 that never came out, the forbidden episode that you may have heard about in my episode with Katie, episode 12.
Forbidden episode. What's that?
I heard slivers.
This episode had
it's not coming
this
out.
topic in it, so I want to go over it real quick. And I'm sorry to all y'all listeners if I sound a little bit bitter and hurt.
Those things are not the case. I swear.
I'm not. Okay, you're making it up. Stop gaslighting me. All right. So, when you're courting, you're ready to get married. You're looking. You're sizing up. What does somebody need? I feel, and this is my personal opinion, conjecture, although it is backed up by societal norms,
Come on now.
that men, guys, us, me, are things that we have to bring to the table. The list is unbelievably longer, at least I feel as though, than maybe a girl, a woman, yeah? So, like, for example, what's his job like? Does he have a good job? Does he have a car? How many cars does he have? Does he have a nice house? Does he have an apartment? What's his credit like? What's his blood type? Could he donate? Is he an organ donor just in case he dies and I need an organ or something, bro? And it's like, okay. And then it's like, what does a woman need? Because look, and that's the thing, because even knowing that, in my personal opinion, I feel like the list is unfairly short. It's like, I'm not really looking for all these things because, if it's, I just like you. But why is that?
No, I got you. So God requires more from us.
Right.
Adam was created first, right? Then Eve. And this is not about, we're not talking here because, you got to preface this for folks. We're not talking about roles at this point, but what we are talking about is God's order. So God is going to come. I always say like this: God is going to come for the man first.
Yeah.
Right. What did you do with the family I gave you? Did you steward them well? Did you cover them? Did you protect them? Did you pray for them? Were you the priest of your home? What did you do with the family I gave you? Right. So. That's that. Guess what? Yeah, if you're not ready for that weight as a man, you're just not ready to get married.
Somewhere in the Bible it says that a man that because of his laziness or lack of concern doesn't provide for his family is worse than an unbeliever.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because and it's true because again, I look at it like this, and I'm gonna just share this with you guys. When I got married, we didn't have a lot of money when we first got married. Still don't. You know what I'm saying? We're not balling, right? And so, but we were way worse off then.
Yeah.
And so, I never looked at it like, oh, I'm going to depend on my wife to provide a paycheck.
Right.
And I learned this in college. I learned this in my business class in college. You set yourself to live off of one income.
Yeah.
Right. So I never was like, oh, my wife, I can count on her paycheck. Yeah, let's get it. I never.
Okay.
It's gonna be me, and if it ain't, after that, whatever she gets, that's extra. Yeah. Right. So I'm willing to carry all the weight on that part. Right. I don't expect my wife to carry that weight. I don't expect my wife to have to worry about bills and the pressure that causes, and just stuff like that. I don't expect her to carry that. I don't expect her to carry the weight of trying to, find a house and all that other stuff. I don't expect her to carry that weight because there is a weight with that.
Right.
I just expect her to be a homemaker and do all that type of stuff.
Right.
But as far as the weight of that stuff, nah, that's on me. So I hope did I answer your question? What you were asking, like, why is it that the man has because the man. More is required of the man because God requires more. Yeah. That's the short answer.
It's a fact.
That's the short answer.
Okay. Yeah. And that's for the spiritual aspect. in a secular sense,
Okay.
right, of the same question, sometimes, and we don't got to really go into this if it's unwise, but sometimes it's like, maybe a woman can, and this was so much better talking about this when I had some ladies on the podcast,
Okay.
so it
So
wasn't.
it wouldn't feel underrepresented.
Yes,
Like it's the
So-
Andrew Tate podcast.
Right, I'm not trying to cut women out and talk for y'all. Please, I'm not. I promise.
Comment.
I'm not.
Comment.
But I feel as though a lot of times it's always, what does he got? What does he got? What's he doing? Loopity bop. And then, me asking, what do you have? Is like, how dare you? I can't ask that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like, I understand that God requires more from us, right? But obviously, I'm certain that God requires certain things from the woman as well.
Right.
And what are those things?
So-
What should we be looking for?
So Ephesians 5, right? Right. So you look. The woman is the husband is supposed to love his wife,
Yeah.
and the wife is supposed to respect their husband,
Yeah.
right? But in all of that, there's also the virtuous woman,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Hallelujah.
So that's what you should look for in a woman. Those virtues
Yeah.
that you see. Alvin Smith said it best. He said, a wife. He said the Bible says that a man who finds a wife finds a good thing. So that means that the woman was a wife before she was even married.
Dang.
So
Dang.
that's
Hit
what
that
you
button for
want.
me.
That's what you want to look for. And so what does that mean? So again, you guys have a wonderful mother. I credit your mom. She's a great example to the church. She's a great example to the ladies here.
Yep.
And so
She the best.
She is. She is the best. And
One
so
time.
the best first lady we got. And so, but no, you look at her as your measuring stick, right?
Mhm.
And so you say, okay, what does my mom do, right? What does she do? Your mom prays. Your mom
Yeah.
reads her Bible. Your mom has a relationship with the Lord. Your mom is humble. Your mom is, all y'all know what your mom is. So
Yep.
you look for that. And so in those same qualities, why would you take something less? Why would you take something less from somebody that you're going to spend the rest of your life with?
Yeah.
If she's not willing or have the same minimal qualities of your mother,
Yeah.
Right.
why would you take something less? Because clearly you see how the relationship between her and your dad worked out.
Yeah.
So don't accept less than that,
Right.
right? If you're looking at a measuring stick, if that's what you're asking, what are some of the qualities? It is okay to ask. It is okay to ask, what can you bring to the table? Because again, at the end of the day, you don't want to go into it and be like, okay, I have a degree, I got a job, 6 figures,
Yeah.
I have a car, I have a house, and I have a great credit score, and I have all these things that you guys mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but then you get this lady that you're gonna marry.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't finish high school.
Mm.
She don't know how to clean.
Mm.
She don't know how to cook.
Mm.
She's not concerned. She's not concerned with the ministry. She's not concerned with anything spiritual. What is she gonna add to your life?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that brings it to there's a sermon that I heard. I wasn't there for it, but everybody's live streaming nowadays, and
Right.
I was listening to a sermon by Pastor Richard Ruby. I think I was on a long drive or something, but he did this sermon for single people or something. But he was saying it isn't so much focused on the material things or the literal, the quantitative things that are there, but the qualities of their character.
Yeah.
And so a man may have a job or a car or a house or good credit and all of that stuff as a result of his character and his work ethic and whatever. But what you're looking for is the work ethic and whatnot. Like, for example, with you, Pastor, and your wife, like, you didn't have everything together, but maybe she was looking for your character. Because if you were some dude that would you wanted to be a bum, and because some people, they don't have a job maybe right now for a valid reason.
Right.
Let's say I'm in school. All right, leave me alone. No, I'm just kidding. But it's different if a man should have a job and doesn't, or if a man should have good credit and doesn't because of his terrible spending habits. But if the character is there, the rest of the stuff in time will follow, and that can be relied upon more than the items themselves. Yeah. And so then the same thing goes for the wife. And so what Pastor Ruby said was that in a man, not that I'm looking for a man, but since we started talking about, all right.
You didn't have to say that.
That was, all right. I'm going to stop myself there. He said in a man, women should look for a man that has honor. And so that means he's not going to leave others out to dry and just be selfish. That means he knows how to work hard even when he's not being praised for it all the time. And he has some morals set for himself. He knows how to respect others. He knows how to take initiative and whatnot. And he knows how to humble himself and whatever. And in a woman, a man should look for someone who knows how to be a servant. Not that she's going to be groveling at your feet, but that.
Oh gosh, yeah, no.
But that she is willing and ready to be helpful. That she's someone who may see an issue from a distance and find a nice way to fit in a solution. She will save you in some hard situations. Yeah. And things like that.
Save my bacon.
Right. My wife. Yeah. Yeah. On episode 4.
Your dad says that a lot. Yeah.
My wife saved my bacon. Yeah.
A couple times. Saved my bacon.
Saved my bacon now.
Ridiculous.
Turned into a North Carolina man.
No, my wife saved my chicken, so.
Okay. All right. You're going to make it a race thing now.
Bro, what?
Huh?
Moving on.
All right.
Immediately moving on. All right.
I'm sorry for any of my listeners if that was uncomfortable of me to say.
Look, y'all.
We might have to edit that out.
No. All right. 2 more things. One of them I really want to talk about, and one of them we just got to get the answer real quick. So, when you're courting someone, let's say you're past dating or whatever, past talking, now you're courting.
You're courting, yeah.
How long can you be courting? Or it's like, hey, bro, all right, stop courting. It's too long.
No, it depends. Again, it depends on how long. Are you saying you stop courting them because it's not going anywhere?
No, like sometimes people get real comfy. Like people who like get engaged and then they're engaged for like 40 years and never get married. You ever heard?
Yeah, no, I've definitely heard of that. Actually, and like I've told all these you guys have heard. But and growing up in my hometown, there were people who I thought were married who were not married. And when I was in high school before I found out these people were never married, and it blew my mind. I'm like, but my mom. And then I heard that's why I learned the term common law marriage. I never heard of that before. Yeah. And my mom was like, yeah, they're common law married, and that's basically like they've been together so long they identify as being married, and that's not a thing.
Big voice crack,
right? That's not a thing. So how you're asking how long? Again, if you're burning with lust, right, and you guys can't keep your hands off each other, and it's going to cause you to sin. You need to go ahead and get married. Yeah, right. But that should not be the determining factor, because that's a very shallow criteria for getting married. Right. Oh man, we burning with lust. I can't keep my hands off you. My mind's out. If your mind's always in the gutter anyway, and that's what your relationship's going to be built on. And guess what? That's going to get old fast.
As you get old fast.
And so no, not necessarily. But it's just gonna because it's shallow. There's nothing. Again, you need to develop a friendship. That can't be what it's all about. Right. And so I can't give you a definitive answer on that. As far as like how long, because it depends on the people. Yeah. It definitely depends on. So like me and my wife, we dated for a year. I do believe we so to speak, because we came into the church. We weren't saved when we came into the church. Yeah. And so we had already been dating outside of the church. Right. And so when we came into I think it took us about a year before we got married. Yeah. So it just depends. It just depends on how. But I knew I was gonna marry my wife as soon as I saw her.
Hallelujah.
So a little bit different.
I can't say anything yet because I don't know. But
I was tired of what I was doing. I was talking to someone. I had been talking to a couple of folks, and so I was just tired of that. So I ended up. When I saw my wife day one, I knew I was gonna marry her.
That's cool. Not love at first sight, but
I wish.
But
sorry, look, y'all
commitment at first realization, huh?
Yeah. Okay. And then the second thing that I kind of wanted to get into, which will probably be our last thing, is your opinions of dating and courting and all this, in particular amongst youth, not as a pastor, but as a father. Because I know it's a little different. So for some of our older folks who are listening, who are parents, who have kids, who maybe you'll learn something from some pastor's advice or something, or maybe I will, bro, when I'm a dad, because I'm gonna be a dad. Yeah.
So, as a dad, I have 3 daughters and I have 1 son.
Just playing, y'all. Elijah.
Who is here with me in spirit right at this point. And so,
I'm sorry, I was gonna ignore it, but he is knocked out.
You guys.
He's awakened.
He just woke up like the Undertaker.
Hello, Marquise. Would you like to say something?
Hallelujah. Okay.
All right. God. So as a father dating, I do have an 18-year-old and I have a 17-year-old. Right. And so as far as dating goes, as a father, for my kids it's just a little bit different. I'm tougher on my kids, right? So I'm not. I know them, so it's not. I'm just not gonna let them just do whatever.
Right.
People can call it whatever they want. I'm just not gonna let them do whatever.
Yeah.
I've told my oldest daughter, for me, it's all about doing it the right way.
Right.
Right. So if she likes somebody, she talked to them, and she said, "Okay, Dad, I like Johnny, and so I'm gonna bring Johnny over here, and I want you to meet Johnny." Okay. For her, she's 18. I tell her, "Okay."
Right.
All right, cool. And then I try to make sure that they did it. Like I said, I'm not gonna be on top of her doing everything, but I'm going to be a dad. Yeah. Right. And so I'm going to make sure that this guy, if she's got to the stage of courting him, I'm going to vet him to see if he's marriage material. Right. Because why would I let her marry somebody that's less than me? I always think, again, if you have good parents, and I want to say that if you have good parents, let your parents be your measuring stick. That should be the bare minimum that you accept from your spouse or your partner, whatever. They can't be less of what your parents are. Yeah, man. Because your parents raised you to be who you are. I feel bad for y'all ladies though. Yeah, hey, compared to my mom, it's over. It's over. It's over.
That's cool too.
He's cool. Yeah.
I'm not looking for someone like that.
Oh, hold on. I feel what you mean now. I was just thinking about him listening to this episode. He about to be like, "Hey, y'all didn't say nothing about me.
Put no respect on my name." Yeah.
Let me retract that statement.
Yeah, there you go. Rewind. That didn't happen. I edit that one out. But that's the thing. So your parents should be a measuring stick. So it's like I said, as far as my 18-year-old, she wanting to date somebody, bring them in. And they got. I would trust because she's very smart. So I would, and she's very. I trust her judgment. And so she's gonna do some things. And so I'm sure you guys will have her on at some point, and maybe she can share her own story. But I would trust that by then she's gotten to the point that she can say, okay, I know what my parents expect. I know what I want. Yep. I know what I expect. I know what I'm looking for in a husband. So I'm not going to. She passed the high five stage already. Yep. All right, this is somebody I'm going to invest into. All right, so and I would just kind of encourage that, and pray about it and pray for them that they get in. And I can't tell you how long I'm gonna tell them to date or whatever the case may be because I don't know. It hasn't happened yet. Yeah. Now for Serenity, who is 17, it'd be a little bit different. Name drop. Right. It'd be a little bit different because Serenity's still in high school. She what again? We go back to the what are you gonna do thing, right? Precisely. So it'll be a little bit different. We work through it. She's 17, so again, With me, I've told my daughters everything is about doing it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
If you gotta go and sneak off and hide and do all that, guess what?
Not doing it the right way.
It's not the right way,
Yeah.
and it ain't worth it. So now, when you come to Marquise and Maddie, Marquise is about to be 13 in a couple months.
Woo!
And so Maddie's
Brother getting
Maddie's
old. Okay,
Maddie's
Grandpa.
just fresh 10 years old.
Yeah, no.
Maddie better not come to me talking about anything.
No. Nope. Nope.
Right now she better not even fix her lip.
If the pronoun he comes out her mouth,
yeah,
jail.
Who?
it better be a capital H.
You know, baby talking about the Lord.
Facts.
That's it. And so that's from a dad perspective. That's how that's gonna go in my household. Now, as parents, again, parents can't be their child's friend. You guys have heard me preach that several times.
We heard our parents preach it too, and I'm not talking about over the pulpit.
Yeah. I'm not your friend.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. I'm not your friend. I'm your dad. I'm your mom. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You can't be your kid's friend because that's what we're seeing in this society.
Yeah.
Parents still want to be cool. They got walking around with holes in their jeans. What are you doing? You're like 30, 40 years old. Why you got ripped jeans? Buy some whole jeans, put them things on, and act like an
represent for
adult.
your kids.
Right. Exactly. Like, stop trying to be Cardi B or somebody. Like, you
Trippy Red.
y'all about to make me go there. But but it's one of those things because it bothers me so much because the next gen. I didn't see my parents do that.
Yeah.
I didn't see my grandparents do that, and I saw how we turned out.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to watch this generation, especially dealing with the frontline youth. It's hard dealing with this generation, or the parents of this generation, knowing that they're not equipping them and preparing them for life.
Yeah.
And especially, and this is where it starts right here. They're not preparing them to succeed. They're not preparing. Again, y'all heard. Well, just shameless plug. So I've been doing a series on sex, the S word.
Yeah.
Right, and one of the things in the
sermon series.
Sermon series
Found
on Sunday nights on Victory Chapel, Spring Lake YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but the second installment I talked about raising baby mamas and baby daddies.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that is what parents are doing nowadays because they won't do this very thing we're talking about right here.
Yeah.
They won't parent their children through this stage.
Yeah.
They just think, oh, it is what it is. They're just gonna let them.
Yeah.
They're gonna let
it's
them.
Cute.
Yeah, it's cute.
It's
It's cute till somebody gets pregnant.
right. Then it's a problem.
Then it's a problem. So and then they want to blame the other person. Oh, well, I knew they was no good and da da da. Well, if you would have told your kid to do it the right way, because you can control what you can control.
Yeah.
You can't control if your daughter's Susan, you can't control Johnny.
Right.
If your son's Johnny, you can't control Susan.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to set your kids up in such a way and raise them in such a way that they understand this is not okay.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be having babies.
Now it's not that you're just that your daughter has a no good boyfriend, but your granddaughter has a no good dad.
Right.
Right.
And that's
Exactly.
bad.
And it's not, you can't just be like he has a no good. Well, somebody had to let them be no good together. Your
Right.
daughter might not be no good,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
or your son might not be no good. You got to take personal accountability. Now, again, we talked about raising up your child in the way they should go, but at the end of the day, you had something to do with that.
Right.
Yeah. True.
So that's my perspective as a parent.
Yeah.
Do it the right way if you're gonna date and you're the right age.
Right.
Other than that, we're not doing it.
Yeah. For sure.
Preach it.
Yeah. You feel like I know we running on long.
That's okay.
But
They still listening, aren't you?
Hey,
Aren't you? Wake up.
real quick, I finally get to say this and not type it. This is a podcast.
Yep.
We talk on here.
Right.
If
glad
you don't
somebody
like
else saying it.
long talks, you're
don't
not
like-
a podcaster.
Yeah, you don't like podcasts.
Yeah, you don't like podcasts.
Pastor Scott is not a paid actor.
Yeah.
Because I've seen that addressed several times in the comments, and I've told you guys that in private. I don't care how long the podcast is. Actually, it benefits my life. It blesses my life because I'm a captive audience most of the time.
Yeah.
So I enjoy listening to every minute, and I listen to every minute and every word that they say. I don't put it on double time. I don't skip through to the good parts. None of that. I listen to the whole thing, front to back, sometimes twice.
There's a pro tip though. Double time. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
If you can,
Or
if you
1.5 time, 1.25 or something.
Yeah,
Because, you know.
1.5, 1.75 it gets weird, but 1.5 is good.
But even in saying that, you know, like some of our older episodes are 2 hours plus.
Yeah.
We'll try not to do that to y'all. I mean, you can break it up, but like, you know, we are, you know, we do hear you. We're not just gonna be like, well, deal with it, but also
deal with it.
You know, it's a podcast, y'all.
Yeah.
You know,
especially the pastors' perspectives usually have a lot of important content to get out.
For sure.
And as in this case, it's 3 people talking.
Yeah.
And so
first time ever, actually.
Yeah.
No,
so that might take a little more time.
No, but first time with 3 people are contributing.
Oh, okay, I guess.
Because that time I was like, hey guys, all right, bye.
Okay,
I went to sleep. And then I
Sure
got
did.
up again before it was over.
Oh, you were Marquise in that episode.
Yes, but not like this.
Bro, Marquise
They
was
can't see you.
knocked out. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right. Last final question. It's just a quick question.
Yeah, no, that's
but like, do you feel like when Marquise gets older,
whoa,
that it'll like, do you think it's gonna be easier with sons or daughters?
I'm glad.
Oh, that's a great question.
That's a great question.
You know,
I'm not gonna say it'll be easier, but I think with girls, because I got 3 of them.
Yes,
my girls have the ability to produce 3 extra lives and bring 3 extra lives into the household. And 9 times out of 10, if they're not married, guess who gets to feed those 3 extra mouths? I do.
Yep.
So
this brother's economic.
I think that is why just that alone, the possibility and the probability of that alone makes it a little bit easier to worry about daughters dating.
Yeah.
Hint, my son, on the other hand, he's gonna take care of that baby if he has one.
Yep.
Don't come over here with your hand out. Don't come over here with your hand out. Don't come over here talking about, oh, dad, you know, I need formula and I need all this and that. Now, we're going to take care of the grandbaby because that's our responsibility. But I'm not giving you the money.
Yeah.
I'm going to go get
directly
the baby,
to the kid.
Right. That way. Because you did something that I raised you not to do.
Yep. You. No. Sorry, Marquise.
He's like, I'm in trouble and I didn't even do
We trust
anything.
you, bro.
I'm half asleep right now. I don't
As
know.
long as you just be like us.
Yeah. But either way, I don't think it's it won't be easy either way because there's always things you got to worry about. Right?
Yeah. So yeah.
That's just as a dad.
Yep. If any of y'all had some preconceived notions, look, bro, it's gonna be difficult regardless. You gotta be a dad either way.
Yeah, you got to parent your kids. Parents, parent your kid. It is okay.
Yeah.
It's a joy. Not that I know, but I'm sure it is.
They actually need it. They actually want it.
You know, so I'm still at home, and we got an extra one that moved in, but my brothers are mostly out for college, and my parents talk so much like, yeah, can't wait until these kids move out. And, you know, they're making their little jokes like, oh, you don't clean the bathroom enough and stuff. When my brothers are gone, they be calling. They be like, have you talked to Israel and Isaiah? And I'm like, dang, it's been 5. They're going to be so sad.
What's crazy is that the answer is no. Elijah, don't be calling.
Well, I talked to Isaiah, and Israel don't be
That's
responding
true.
to anything.
We have a group chat, and Israel's like, yeah.
The name of the group chat was
chat.
changed to Talk to Us, Israel.
Oh, man.
I'm serious.
Oh, yeah. It is, bro, because Israel, man.
Hey, Israel be studying.
He be
Israel
focused.
be on his books.
Yeah.
Shout out Israel.
Shout out Israel, for real.
One day he'll be on here.
Yeah.
I was just about to say, y'all need to definitely get Israel on here because Israel is very smart.
He's only just now coming around to even wanting to be on it. Because before he was like, I don't want to be on the podcast. But now
he says we're not allowed to say he's not a part of it. But I kind of agree with that statement. He's around too much for the planning and stuff. He's in the conversations whether you want him to be or not. So
yeah,
I think Israel will be great because Israel has a very unique perspective on life.
He does.
So I think
we're gonna have him on for sure. We're probably gonna record an episode during this spring break.
Right, y'all on spring break, do it.
Y'all probably get some Israel before episode 20.
About 3 episodes. Y'all should have my main man Jerem on one.
Elijah is against this idea.
Whoa, hold on now. All right. We're going to move on. We can talk more about this later, or maybe in the comment section where I have more control over what's being said.
Are you trying to censor us?
Yes. We literally have a censor button on the. I was about I was about to pretend like I was coming out of saying something as you finished with that, and then I was like, "That's very unwise
that's
decision."
a cuss word button, is it?
Yeah, but or like as we explained in one of these
Which
episodes,
we shouldn't be using on here.
it's better. Like people also use it like when you don't want to have someone's name, or like you say someone's address on accident. You're like, ooh, you got to bleep that out or something like that.
Just to redact some statements. Sometimes just for humorous purposes. But I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of unwise to use that thing because people are gonna be like, what did he say on the other end?
Yeah.
And then at some point, the jokes aren't funny no more, and it's like,
all right. So we've reached the end of what this episode is probably gonna be. We're gonna do the recap. First, we gotta get a secret word and comment and stuff. Shout out all y'all who have been commenting, who have been putting your. This is from one of our comments, or from I think it's from Malaysia. Matter of fact, shout out Malaysia.
Shout out Malaysia. Hey, Malaysia, if you don't hear this episode, if you don't approach me about this episode, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But it's gonna be angry.
Just so you guys know, Malaysia has just joined Frontline in about maybe a couple of months now.
Yeah.
Yep.
She graduated from the 9 to 12, so she's one of our new 13-year-olds. She's the third of 5 to come. So we got 2 more that's coming in before the year's over.
Cool. Yeah. I don't know all of them, but Malaysia's one of the ones.
Yeah, she's a good one.
She be insightful.
We got Bible study at their house. She be coming out with them points. I'd be like, dang. I wish I was this smart in middle school.
And then we're going to have Marquise.
Yeah.
June.
Marquise, Marquise should provide the secret word for today. Since he was so interested in sitting in here with us and so faithful to the cause, I think he should be able to provide it.
What's our secret word?
Don't
Marquise?
say nothing stupid.
Don't.
Sleep. Okay. That's what's on his mind.
The secret word is sleep. That's a good one.
Time sleeping word. Sleeping word.
Here we go.
That's an on-time secret word.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good secret word. All right, now let's hit that recap. So we're looking at our notes. So hold on now. Premarital relationships, in the youth in particular. If you're under 17, 16, don't worry about it. Don't even think about what you're going to do. Nothing. You gonna go on a date? With what? What money? Anyway.
That was a 2-man job, by the way.
When you're dating, like when you get to that stage, when you're old enough, when you're in the right mindset, whatever, don't be against godly counsel. Don't be upset if someone wants to advise you in the things that you need to do, because they're talking to the Lord. You feel me? And the Lord, you should be talking to the Lord too. Pray about your relationship.
Yes.
Don't
100%. Don't be in a rush.
Yeah, exactly. What else? Don't get too caught up on what you're supposed to be bringing to the table and what, this and that. Just focus on, as a man, focus on, being a man, which, as a man, you should know what comes with that. Focus on being saved, your salvation. And that goes for men and women. And for women, focus on being a woman, a wife, or whatever,
Thanks.
You know what that means. I don't, because I'm not trying to be a wife.
Scroll the video back if you want to know more. Come on now.
How long is too long for a dating phase? There isn't really an answer to that, but just know that, there should be an end goal. It shouldn't be just we're dating to be dating. You know what I mean? A relationship should always be leading to something.
And if you guys have your thing set up and you guys are sure about each other and you got passions going on, don't let it drag out to the point where you do things you can't undo just because you're indecisive about marriage. If you think that you can make it work honestly forever with this person, and you pray about it and whatever, don't drag it out just because, well, I don't know, because what are they gonna do on my 55th birthday? And like, yeah.
Don't be afraid to high five either.
Facts. If you got to dip, if you got to turn around.
If you got to get out of there, get out of there.
Don't be afraid to hurt someone's feelings. This is your life, too, that we're talking about.
As Pastor Scott has been saying, don't make permanent decisions for something temporary.
Facts.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to add at the end?
Be a good parent.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's not on the notes, so I forgot. Yeah. Parenting, so important.
Don't have babies.
Yep.
With somebody you're not married to.
Okay.
And don't have more babies after that if they won't marry you.
Yes.
Yeah.
See the S word.
It's not going to make them stay.
Yeah.
Sermon series.
Yep.
Part number 2.
Check
Shameless
out that.
plug.
No, it's no need for shame. Check it out. And so, be a good parent. Don't take a back seat in parenting. Be involved because you are the first line of defense for your children. So
absolutely, I like that.
So do that. So we appreciate you guys so much for listening, for being a part of this, and we'll catch you on the next one.